have a special guest.
We do.
We do. We have a very special guest. For he's going to be here for a short time. He's not going to be here for the whole duration of the show because I pretty much told him I would like to
He's
have
here
him
for
here.
a long time. He's here for a good time.
He's here for a good time, With us, you guys know him. He is by far one of the coolest guys I know, and he's always remains cool. This is the right guy for the job because if you're looking to talk about slabs, who else do you talk to but the one and only Rob's Fat Stack? What's going on, Rob? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. It is an auspicious day, is it not?
It really is. There's so much to talk about, but there was one specific thing I really, really wanted to talk to you about today. So without further ado, let's just say what's up to the people in the chat. We'll do this really quickly. Our first person was Heroes for Hires. We got Matt. Good evening, everyone. Las Cruces. Hello from Nuevo Mexico. All right. And as I said before, we have a very special guest with us. So there he is. Is it just me or he has no audio? I think he fixed the audio. Going out. I'll be back. But there he says, I'm sorry, but that song's an abomination. I absolutely love my song. I don't care what anybody says. All right. DVH is in the house. Hoot, hoot, hoot. And there's our hoots. And let's see who else we got here. I'm trying to get to as many people as fast as we possibly can. Hi to everyone. Tate is in the house. All right. So let's get to the news and let's talk about some headlines here. So let's get to it now. All right. So we have to talk about this. So I asked Rob to come by because I know last time this happened, you made a whole video about this.
I have details and data.
You got details and data. So this just came in. This is like, I guess, breaking news of the day. CGC is raising their prices once again.
It's as breaking news as an annual event can it be.
It was around the same time last year, wasn't it?
It's actually it's a little bit early. Usually
it's a little earlier,
spring,
right?
It's usually spring for them. They announce it in January usually, and it goes till spring. But in keeping, it's after they've done their Black Friday sale to get people to buy memberships for the next year, and then they announce the price hikes.
Wow.
This is breaking news, like saying that Christmas is coming.
So as someone who submits quite frequently to CGC, I don't like this either.
Not as much as it was. I used to. No, this has been going. So ever since they got acquired, they have done annual price rate hikes, and every year it's about the same increment. You get about a $3 rate hike. That goes on to basically negates it equates to being about a 10%. So it wipes out the 10% discount that they give you essentially. So they basically say, oh yeah, you get your membership now at your next year, you get to keep those same rates. Well,
but according to the news here, it says here it goes into effect January 6th. After January 6th.
Yeah, much quicker.
So we don't got that much time. We got less than a month because today's the 9th.
Yep.
All right. So talk to me about the prices. So we're going from, if you do modern bulk, it's gonna change to $27.
And unless you're a retailer, let's not even talk about bulk. I don't look at that because as a collector, I don't typically send in 25 or more books at a time.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So I think it's great for retailers, but they got their own rates anyway. So let's talk about the non-bulk rates.
So modern tier, $30. That's
$30. So that is, again, currently it's $27 right now with a membership, right?
Yeah.
$30 increase. So it's a $3 increase, is a 11% increase over the year before. But keep in mind, in 2020, just 5 years ago, It was $18 to submit a modern book at this tier. It's gone up 67%.
Hmm. Now their response is always inflation, and they're using
It's,
that as the term this
yeah.
year as well.
It's interesting. You know what the inflation is caused by? It's PSA. PSA they have their rate for modern books at $29.
I'm
So
glad you said that because I
so,
do have the rates for PSA.
right, $29 in $44.99 for vintage, which goes up to $45. So
Yeah.
all they're matching, they're just matching PSA's rates. They don't care about CBCS.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even see CBCS a threat because CBCS is down there at $22, $22 to $24 for a modern book and $40. And they definitely don't care about PGX, who's at 14 and 20.
Yeah.
So
Well, you don't really hear much since PSA came into the equation. It almost seems like CBCS has said, you know what, let's just chill over here. We'll do our thing. If you want to work with us, you work with us. So they didn't really. It's kind of like cool down, and now it's like CGC or PSA. So I know Cliff is not a big fan of PSA because he's not a fan of that label and things like that. But Cliff, you hear this? Oh, look at that! Wait a minute. Oh my goodness! I gotta make this big. What do we have here?
So I'm still not a fan of that label. That label's pretty ugly. All right. But I do have a
it's
PSA.
trash.
Yeah, it's trash. However, this is one of the strongest slabs I've ever seen in my life, and UV coating. So, like, I will give them credit where credit is due. But also from the collector's aspect, like, they don't have a collector community the way CGC does. So CGC still has that going for them.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah, but
Like,
but in all fairness, they're new to the game, so I guess you could say they're learning as they go. When it
no,
comes
I
to
don't
the
care.
comic book
I
world.
don't care, Izzy, because they're wealthy and they have the money to come in strong. And I'm tired of this crap. All night tonight, I'm gonna go on about how much I hate the homogenization of wealth and how our enjoyment of the arts crushes under the weight of that. So this is just the opening gambit.
This is the open. This is what we go through every week, Rob. It's
No,
it's
but I don't care. I don't care for the PSA labels, and CGC's only continues to be, if we're honest, given that every time you turn around, there's another quote unquote scandal or news story or quality control or whatever else is going on.
Mhm.
The reason they continue to be perceived as the top grader has been all the effort they did early on in their history of building up that community. The army of loyalists, through whether it be through their message boards, through the gamification, and then later on through that layered into the respectability from a pricing standpoint, that's allowed them to remain on top. PSA might chip slightly at it, but I don't know that they're, at least right now, it's kind of a mixed bag. I think it's too early to say whether or not they'll make any kind of real inroad. Obviously, right now, based on the price hikes, CGC does not fear PSA. Otherwise, they would have held their pricing at their being a little bit less expensive than what they did now. Instead, they turned around and they price hiked it up.
But then they price hike just for this. They do that. Like you said, it may be a little bit earlier now, but it's kind of like status quo for them, where they just continuously do it regardless of quality. Because I still have not seen a quality change since then.
Right.
You
No,
know what I
mean,
mean?
sure, they've been doing it annually, but again, they've had no fear of competition. Supposedly, the whole premise of having additional competition is that it's good for the consumer. It'll drive down prices. That's not happening. Instead, we have some competitors who have held low pricing, but the collector market isn't going that direction yet. Meanwhile, the perceived top two would just raise their prices up to each other. They don't
Yeah.
fear it.
Mhm. But
Reholder is not on the list.
no,
To be
so
increased.
there is a reholder change, but it's to pulp. It's to
Pulps and stuff.
now
Yeah.
pulp to posters actually, not to pulps.
Oh, posters.
Posters,
Okay.
yeah. So the reholder is to change, but they are changing. They are updating
JSA.
this JSA as well as signature series books to $50, and
Well,
that
signature series always just follows, but yeah.
yeah. So there's a little bit of that going on with the tiers. Um,
Wait, saying so a CGC signature series is 50
yeah. Well,
for a comic?
So it says modern tier signature series $53. For
And so
bulk is 50.
so it's gonna be less to submit a witnessed book than it is to submit a unwitnessed book.
Yeah, because it says here the JSA is going to be changed to 30.
Yeah, that we knew was coming
Mhm.
when they introduced to the JSA at $25. They always said for a limited time
Mhm.
initially. $30 puts it in line with CBCS and
Yeah.
Beckett. So that's not a surprise. It knew it was coming. They've established it. They've got people addicted to using it or in liking it, found that the people,
Yeah.
some people actually prefer the
Mhm.
label of the JSA over the other.
Yeah.
But
I
we
like the
haven't had-
JSA. Being that I have a few already, I like the
know.
black top. I
It
think
Yeah.
does look
it has this
good,
nice. It has this
but
nice look. Yeah.
we haven't it's interesting. We haven't had our at least big wide signature verification scandal yet with them.
Well,
But
there was one, the
I
Stan
said
Lee
haven't
one.
had a. Oh, is there? Okay, I missed
Yeah,
that
so
one.
there was
But
there was a Stan Lee one where there was a smudging situation where all these Stan Lee signatures were coming back smudged
Yeah.
and
But
they were being
Stan
authenticated.
actually signed those books.
Mhm.
That wasn't quite the scandal so much as the scandal was the abuse of Stan Lee when he was alive.
Well,
Wow.
yes, but the other thing was it's from what I remember about it. I'm not 100%. I think they were JSA signatures. They weren't like witness signatures because
Right.
witness signature is a witness signature, right? He's there, you see it, then bam, we're done.
Yeah.
But JSA is saying, "Oh, we're gonna authenticate this signature as Stan Lee, even though it's smudged."
Yes. Right. And I was gonna say, and why not? Because you can pay, you have two payment options. Pay to get the label that it was authenticated the signature, which we have more than enough comprehensive footage of Stan Lee's abuse to verify it. And then getting the actual signature graded, that's another option you have, right? So I do believe some of those had that second option, and the signature was graded very low. Not that anyone cares.
we're off topic.
Yeah, no one really cares about that.
Oh, oh no! But the
people-
point is, I don't think that was like a real scandal so much as people on the inside stealing from CGC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No, we're off topic. But I mean, you go back to this. This is, I mean, I think this is like everything else that's going on. Unfortunately, I just feel like it happens so often that now I'm numb to it,
Mhm.
and I don't get. 4 years ago, I was bitching and complaining up the wazoo that this was going to become a regular occurrence, and now it has. And so now, how do I feel about it? Oh, I feel about it about the same as I do about other people's tweets and stuff. They happen all the time, and I should be outraged, but somehow I continue. I just kind of go like that again,
Yeah.
So that's almost how I feel as a collector.
yeah.
Has it impacted me though? As a guy who grades, it has. This past year is the lowest number of books I've submitted for grading.
Mhm.
I bought more books already graded than I am than paying to have books graded.
Mhm.
And I think we're seeing that even where we're seeing the normal is we've seen on a lot of books the leveling of that price for a raw book versus a graded book,
Mhm.
where the raw books people are valuing them more, or at least valuing them about the same real for approximate grade range. It's definitely narrowed.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, there was also just recently the first Gambit cover just sold a 10 for PSA just sold for like $6,000, and a 9.9 was selling for a lot less. So that's changing how they're looking at it. Are they going to be more loose with their 9.9s versus their 10s? So there's something to talk about when it comes to CGC and how they're going to start grading moving forward. If in fact they're going to change their grading standards, they've gotten looser with 9.9s, where they're giving more
They have.
9.9s than 9.8.
They have, and they said they were going to, and then they kind of stopped, and then they're back on. They kind of like ebb and flow. I think it depends. It's like they've got like 3 guys there that are a little bit looser with the 9.9s, and the other 3 guys were told not to be, and so it's just luck of the draw. Sometimes it seems, but
Yeah,
I mean, that they definitely do. I've had more 9.9s this year from CGC than every year before totaled.
Yeah.
But the, I mean, look, I'm with Tate on this one. I think it's going to be. I'm going to look at some alternatives like Comic Capsule and stuff for protecting some of my books, and I think there's going to be less and less that I'm going to be submitting for grading. I know I decided not to. I wasn't going to take part in their Black Friday sale to up my membership and stuff because it was going to it would part of it was because I was going to erase the time I still had. They weren't going to prorate. So
Yeah.
that was one thing they were doing to screw people. But then I just knew, I knew that this hike was coming at some point. It's like,
Yeah.
how much am I going to submit?
Inevitable, as they say, right?
No.
The other thing is that I noticed was like you said, this is standard. This seems to be standard yearly practice for them. So I doubt if what happened with Todd McFarlane had anything to do with it, where they had to cap it. I think that was more of a Todd McFarlane thing than anything.
That's a capacity issue from the
Yeah.
standpoint of like last time he was there, they didn't do that, and he had to be there for days.
Yeah, so there's that. So I'm just curious more on the lines, how is this going to affect their, return on investment? Like, will this work for them? Are people still going to submit to them now that there's an alternative to it, and an alternative that actually matters? PSA, say what you want to say about it. People are starting to get it, and they actually have this really cool promo that's out there where you could get a slab practically for free. You know what I mean?
I doubt right now in the imminent run it's gonna CGC's concerned. Like I said, if they were concerned about PSA, they wouldn't have raised their prices.
Yeah.
They would have held off. They didn't. They matched their price, so they feel that they're at least as strong of game, or whatever little bit they lose to it isn't a big deal. I think CBCS is probably the one that's hurting more than anybody else. As far as what was to do long term, well, that's bound to be seen. I'm sure that there'll be some decrease in submissions, at least initially. Is that offset by the increased revenue and pricing? Probably, if not more. Also, does it drive more people to try to collect books to do bulk submissions? Maybe. What does that do for does that affect their ability to predict or adjust to it? I don't know. But CGC hasn't cared. Well, it's since they got acquired. That Tate, 5 or 6 years ago, they've been doing for 5 years now. They've been doing this annual price hike. It aligns with what they've done, which is when they were acquired. Every year since then, it's been BlackRock or whoever it was at bottom,
Blackstone,
right? Yeah. Blackstone. Yeah, we've got this annual price hike.
Wow. So, yeah, like I said, this is one of those situations that we've just gotten used to, us in the community, when it comes to this. So
who knows? Maybe I'm going back to PGX, baby. $14 modern, $20 vintage with up to $2,000.
Let's not spiral, okay? I mean, like, maybe giving CBCS a little bit of love, but going all the way back to PGX, oh my lord.
Well, I look at their labels, and their labels look god awful. Like, they try to do something where they try to be like fashionable or something. I don't know what they're trying to do, but it looks like they just printed out from this hunky dory printer and they just put that label in there, and it was like, yep, that worked. You know what I mean? At least when I look at PSA, and I'm not gonna be a shill for PSA. I don't even have a PSA comic just yet, but I will have one soon.
Is he the shill?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm looking at their prices, and now they're starting to be very comparable. It's they're
It's
aligning with
exactly
their
the
price.
same.
Yeah, it's exactly the
20
same.
well,
$29.
modern $29.99
Mhm.
versus $30 for CGC.
Yeah,
$44.99 versus $45. It's the
it's
only
the same price,
tier.
penny.
The
That
only
don't
thing
count.
where CGC is cheaper is at the high value tier where they're at $105 versus 119. But no, I guess they got a high value. Can you scroll down a little bit? What's their high value?
So the high value is 99.
Okay. Oh, max up to 1,500 though.
Yeah, and their express is 119.
Okay. So insured. Okay. So you get some not apples to apples in here, but I mean,
Mhm. And then you have Super Express, you have walkthroughs. So the one thing I do like that PSA has that rivals to me CGC as far as the quality of the slab itself. Besides that, is I could take a book to a shop that's a PSA shop and drop off my book. Which with CGC I don't have that. That's
what
something
do
I
you,
actually like. There's
what do you mean?
places I could drop off a book with
To
PSA.
have them get
They'll
it
send
graded
it
for
out.
you?
They won't
There's
grade it on the spot, but
CGC has that.
drop
CGC
off
has
spot.
that.
But
Yeah,
do they have a locally?
Oh, you mean
my
just a
LCS
drop off?
is a drop
I
off.
mean, the LCS facilitates it. I see what you're saying.
Yes.
The difference is you're saying that PSA has shops that aren't taking any commission.
Yeah, they're not taking cuts. They're just drop off spots. So they're taking it. So I like that. I like that
Yeah.
aspect to it, where I could just drop something off and be like, okay, I don't have to pay this extra, you know, sometimes $30 in shipping, depending on how much stuff I'm sending. So, Rob, it's always a pleasure having you here. I appreciate that you stopped by to talk a little bit about this because I know you're the guy to talk about when it comes to these price hikes because you do these
I
every year.
track
You
it.
look at
I
this, man.
hold
You
it.
track it, man. I saw
It's
that.
it's hilarious to think about the fact that again, before Blackstone came in board here, a vintage book grading was $24.30. Now you can't even do a modern for that price. It's increased. Vintage book price today has gone up 85.2% compared
Wow.
to what it was before Blackstone took over. And that you got, oh, what did I get out of it? Oh, now I have a $400 cap. Before I think vintage was higher than that. I think it was like $600. So you get bumped up to high value even quicker.
Wow.
Thank you.
With that said, Rob, where can people find you?
This guy right here at robs.fatstacks. I'm all Instagram, YouTube. I'm out there. Only slabs on Saturday. We'll see if it gets harder to get guests on Only Slabs.
I only got well. Now you could probably get Voxy on the show. Probably it's like I only got 5. I'm like that's okay. We'll take you, Rob. It's always a pleasure, man. I will see you soon, my brother.
Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Rob.
So, your thoughts on the matter as a whole? Speaking for someone that doesn't normally grade your books, I know you don't normally do it, but you do have obviously looking at the back wall there.
Yeah, no, most of my signature series I submitted, and actually, no, I've submitted quite a few. I just not all the time.
Yeah, for me, it affects me as as an artist, where I have to send things in constantly because people are making those requests, and at the same time where I offer a fee for doing it because of course it's going to be like I have to do this, I'm going to do all the shipping, I'm going to do a lot of let work for it, and that it helps me out in the process to do that, but it becomes more challenging for people when they come in and they like, yeah, I'm not going to slab it, just put it on the on a comic capsule, which I think that's a great alternative when you have something like a comic capsule for that stuff, because they'll still keep it protected. Will it validate the price? No, but I don't think people care as much anymore. I'm not a one to buy slab books. I'm the one to buy them raw and then send them out to get slab, because the price that I'm looking at isn't as high as
which is so funny, because in my experiences I got
Hey Rich.
I got great deals on slabbed books that would have been almost the same price for me to get it raw. So I'm like, who am I to pass this up?
Well, there is that. That does happen. I think that's happening more frequently now, because the cost of getting a book slab on top of the cost of the book itself, you might as well just buy it that way.
Yeah.
You know, and it guarantees the grade, if you know what I mean. Which
Yes.
in that fashion. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more comic content. Check out these other videos for even more insight, and I'll see you at the next one. Excelsior.